right, guys, welcome to the Follow Me Wholesale list stacking tutorial. This is where off-market wholesaling actually starts. If you ever wondered, how do I know sellers are actually motivated? Well, when it comes to off-market, stacking lists is actually how you find them. This is the cheat code. You can do this in any county, any region, any state. For the purpose of this video, I'll be using Polk County as the example. We'll be using multiple seller lists that I've previously gathered from different resources. I've talked about that in earlier modules. We're gonna combine them so that we can instantly spot highly motivated sellers, and we're gonna target them like a sniper. All right, so what list stacking actually is. List stacking is when you take multiple lists like code violations, evictions lists, bankruptcy lists, divorce lists, list pendants, which is pre-foreclosure lists, absentee owners. So you take multiple of these lists and you're going to combine them, and you're essentially trying to locate which properties or owners' names pops up on multiple lists. For example, someone who is only tax delinquent is going to be less motivated than someone who is not only tax delinquent, but they've had recent evictions on their property and they are on the water shutoff list, meaning the city came and cut the water off. That person is going to be highly motivated because they have multiple motivating factors. And when you locate these properties that are on multiple, they're generally going to be way more motivated because they've got multiple pain points. They have much higher of a reason to sell and a much higher chance of saying yes just to get out of that situation sooner than later. All right, so here are the lists from Polk County that I'll be using for this example. So if you look here, hey, we've got code violations, we've got evictions, we've got probate, we've got tax delinquent, we've even got the water shutoff list. These are multiple lists that I've pulled from the county departments and from the different city departments. So you got to do your research and pull from multiple sources if necessary. All these are perfect for cash deals, and these will get you your standard wholesale assignments. So the next thing I'm going to do is walk you guys through exactly how to use the list stacking tool and teach you how to stack your list so that you can get straight to those super motivated sellers and start reaching out to them. All right, so without further ado, this is how you use the Follow Me Wholesale list stacker tool. First, you want to go to Add List, and here you got a few different options. You want to fill out as much of this information as possible. Depending on what type of list you have will dictate what information you will fill out. Some lists are city specific, some lists are county specific. So first, we want to pull a code violations list. We're going to go to code violations. We're going to choose file. We're going to go to code violations, and I'm going to choose Eagle Lake. That is a city specific list. So my default property state is going to be Florida. I'm going to type in Eagle Lake here since all of these properties are located in the same city. And this is going to give me my next section. And this tells you what columns in that actual spreadsheet you want to choose from. I'm going to show you that spreadsheet. Here's my Eagle Lake code violations. So here you have parcel address, city, state, zip, parcel number. So these are the city, state, and zip of the actual property. You notice we don't have contact information here. So we're going to go back to the list stacker. Property address, we have property address. Property city, we're going to use the city. Owner name, we don't have owner name. Mailing address, we don't have the owner's mailing address. Mailing city, we don't have the owner's mailing city. Mailing state, we don't have that information. And mailing zip, we don't have that information, but we do have parcel number here. You notice, although we have a property city, I also put it here default in the default section because all of the spreadsheets are not going to have a field for the property city. So we pretty much have all the information from that list that we can use. Let's move on to list 2. We're going to let's do a tax delinquent list, and we're going to choose file. And I actually have a tax delinquent list from the entire of Polk County. So this is a countywide list. And because this is a countywide list, we're not going to select property city because the different properties on this list are in multiple cities, okay? So we're gonna go to property address, property state, right here, Florida. So we don't need to put default property city because we got multiple cities. And property address, that was situs address. Property city, we have situs city. Owner name, we have that as well, owner name. Mailing address, we have owner address 1, mailing city, owner city. Mailing state, owner state, and mailing zip is going to be owner zip. Parcel number, that's going to be account number. So we have so much information here. That was perfect. Let's add the next list. All right, next list, let's do a probate list. All right, you're going to realize this probate list, the one I have in particular, doesn't have a lot of information. Let's choose file, but we're going to work with what we have. And you can actually skip trace this information or research to fill out more of this information on your own if you wanted to, or you can hire a VA to do it. But just for the sake of showing you how to use the list stacker tool, I'm going to show you how the probate list will work in this as well. So we chose probate. The default state is going to be Florida, since all of these properties are in Florida. We're not going to choose a city because once again, this is a county-wide list. So the property address is not going to be on here because they don't actually tell you the address where the person lived unless you skip trace and added that information prior to. We also don't have property city, but we do have owner name, which is under party. I'm going to actually show you this probate list. Here is where you actually have the probate list. You see, the only real viable information that we have here is the party. This is going to be the owner of that property who passed away. Probate is when a property has to go to court to determine what heirs receive what. So these are going to be your party. These are going to be the owners of those properties. All right, so let's get back to the list stacker tool. That's why we filled out party as an owner name. We don't have a mailing address, city. There's also not a state on that spreadsheet, but if you notice here, we did put default property state here. And also for mailing, zip, or parcel. All right, so we're gonna add the next list. I'm gonna add another code violations list because I have several code violations from different cities. So I wanna get as many of those in as I can. You can also create a master list. If you only wanted to use code violation list for one of these fields, you just gotta make sure all of the fields match up. I'm gonna choose Haines City. And here we got parcel address. We already put the default city in there, so we don't need to actually add property city. Owner name, we have the owner's name, owner address, owner city, owner state, owner zip, and we do have the parcel number. Perfect. Let's add another code violations list. Property state is going to be Florida. This is going to be Lake Wales, and I'm going to select my Lake Wales code violation list. And based on the information I know that's in that list, we're gonna have the address. We already added the default city, that's okay. It's not in the spreadsheets, but we don't need it. Let's see, we have the contact, which is the owner's name. We do not have address. We don't have mailing city or mailing state. The only other thing we have is parcel APN, which is in this spreadsheet is labeled parcel code. Okay, and lastly, I'm gonna add my last code violations list. But you see here, you got several different lists that you can add. You got tax delinquent, probate, water shut off, evictions, utility liens, HOA liens. So whatever deal you're trying to find, you just got to pull those specific type of lists that would aggregate that type of information for you. All right, my last one, I'm going to select Lakeland, Florida. And my default city is going to be Lakeland. I'm going to select Florida. And here we got address. We already got city. Let's see, do we have owner name? We don't have owner name. We don't have mailing address. Nope, I think we've only got parcel ID, which is the only other one I see. All right. The next thing you want to do is you want to run the stacking. You want to go ahead and stack all these lists. And what you're going to do is you're going to click run stack. 793 results. That is beautiful. So here's how you read the stack list. This is telling you that 793 of these addresses or these parcel numbers or owners' names popped up in 2 or more lists, indicating more motivation than the average owner. That hit count is going to be located over here. Your list source is telling you what list these fields popped up in. Here you got code violations and tax delinquent. 530 Fifth Avenue Eagle Lake Trust showed up in. You're going to have a combination of entities and individuals. Now, if it matched information that where the owner's name was not available, it's also going to pop up in your list, but you won't be able to directly import those into most of your skip tracing services. With the skip tracing service I'm recommending to you guys that I use regularly, Direct Skip, you will need the owner's name. So you can go back, look those addresses up, and you can implement those owners' names. Also, if the mailing city and state and mailing zip wasn't available, you can add that information in as well. But if you look here, you got quite a bit of information. You've got businesses who own properties, and then you got individuals like Felicia Mack. You've got several different trusts. You've got Eric Spears, individuals. So here you can actually export this list and you can filter based on what you want to go ahead and look for. So you can export this list And then you can go ahead and export all the individual owners whose information is already there. And you can go ahead and get those skip trace and send those out. Then you can do the same thing with businesses. Just look up an owner's name of the business, fill it in, and then you can skip trace those. Addresses that appear on 2 stacks indicate high motivation. And if they're on 3 lists or more, this is prime top priority. You want to text, you want to call those, you want to email those as soon as possible. This is where most of your deals usually come from. That's going to be called your low hanging fruit. So what you want to do once you get these stacked lists is simple. You want to export it. You want to move it to your call, text message marketing workflow. And you always want to start with your 3 stack list and then your 2 stack. And I will contact those and just continue to follow up. All right. So when you export, you want to head up to this button here. You want to click export all, and then you just want to make sure you save that list accordingly. I've already actually exported this list, so I've already got it saved. But that is exactly how you would save it, export it, and it is in CSV format. This will actually be your end result. This is what the exported list looks like once it's filtered. See, I've got this one filtered down to individuals. I would take this list, move it over to my skip tracing software, and be able to match the fields up with what the skip tracing software needs so that we can get started skip tracing these leads. So this is the end result. This is what the list stacker tool produces. This is high quality, extremely valuable information, especially for the cost of what it is monthly for this tool. Every wholesaler, experienced or new, needs something like this in their workflow. And that is how you use the list stacker tool. Remember guys, for this tutorial, we focus on cash deals, even the type of list that we pull, code violations, tax delinquent, probate, water shutoff. All of those are catered to properties that are free and clear that owners are falling behind on or have some type of issue with. Depending on what type of deal you're looking for, whether it's a sub to or a seller financing deal, is going to dictate exactly what type of list you want to pull. But for this specific example, we did use motivated seller lists for cash deals. I will see you guys on skip tracing these sniper leads that we pulled to show you how to reach out to these individuals, get those conversations started so that you can get deals flowing. All right, I'll see you guys on the next tutorial. Thank you for joining.